Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so thrilled that you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about what I've been doing during these crazy past few months, how I've been dealing with the pandemic, and I would also love to know how you guys have been dealing with the pandemic, what you've been doing, what you've been watching, reading, how you're passing the time. I guess now's the best time as any to tell you I am what we call fun employed in this time, and so that's really why I wanted to get my creative juices flowing and bring back my YouTube channel. Anywho, so during this pandemic, when it all started to go to in March, my roommates and I made the decision to leave New York City. Me being like the slight hypochondriac that I am, was starting to get really nervous about the coronavirus early March. And truly, I had hand sanitizer in every bag, every surface, everywhere I went, I had it with me. I never touched doors. I always opened with paper towels, and like I do that anyway, but I was super aware of, you know, germs at the start of March. And then when stuff really got real was when Broadway shut down, which is my livelihood, a lot of my friends' livelihood. Without it, if our actors aren't working, we're not working. So it was just sort of this shock to the whole community because the Broadway League made the decision to stop all performances the evening of Thursday, March 12th. And it's so funny because I had tickets to the musical 6 the following week, and I was so excited, and it was their opening night and they couldn't even open, and it was just like this huge, like, gut-wrenching moment. I felt terrible for them, and so many shows were set to open, and we were gonna have an amazing theater season and Tony Award season, and it just all got cut short and like just done in a matter of hours, which was just so absurd. But when they shut Broadway down, we were like, gotta go. And it was actually insane though, because we moved the following day, Friday the 13th, so should have known that we needed to get out of Dodge. What a delightful omen that was. So we moved into our new place that I'm sitting here filming this, which is the best. It's the coolest place. We've made it our own. It's so cozy. It's wonderful. We're in Midtown, so like couldn't be any more convenient, but like we can't do anything, which is devastating. But we decided to leave 2 days after we moved in. So we basically got our stuff in, put our boxes in, and left. And we went out to Ohio, which is where my roommate is from. And then my parents, who live in Iowa, came and got me in Ohio. And then we drove all the way back to Des Moines. And I was there for 4 months, which was wonderful. And like, I know everybody talks about like, oh, you know, the silver lining of this time is that we get family time. And that was really true. Like, we talked about this, but even in high school, my sister and I weren't home as often as we were during this pandemic. Like, we had true family time. Like, we never ate all 3 meals together. We never had this time. So it was really nice to be able to laugh together, to play games, to watch TV and movies, and like actually really have some good quality family time. So that was sort of the silver lining of all of this. But I was really itching to come back to New York and kind of get my life started again, you know, because it's so wonderful to be taking care of your parents for so long. But I sort of wanted to, you know, get back on the hustle. I knew I'd be motivated here in the city. So my roommates and I then made a plan to come back to the city. My parents ended up driving me out to Ohio again, spent a few days together, our families, which was so nice. And then we went on to come back to the city. And it's unusual, the city right now. I mean, I'm pleasantly surprised and like pleased to see the amount of people that there are. And mostly everybody's wearing a mask, which is great and what you should do. We should all be wearing masks because it's a respect thing, and we should be looking out for everybody else, even if we're not ourselves sick. It's, you know, the kind thing and the right thing to do. It's just so bizarre because it's the New York we left is not the New York we came back to. And I think that's what everybody's saying and, you know, kind of realizing as you know, our friends start to trickle back into the city. So you know, what I miss the most is being able to do my Upper West Side walks with one of my dearest friends. We would just walk the Upper West Side, get our Broadway bagel, you know, pop into different stores and not really have a plan, but that was like the beauty of it, right? We didn't have to make an appointment. We didn't have to, you know, there was no limit to how many people could be inside, like face values. Like it was just, you know, we could do whatever we wanted, and I do miss that. And obviously Broadway, like I'm devastated that, you know, like the one thing that really brings me joy is seeing a show, and I can't do that, which sucks. And like we realistically don't know when it's gonna come back, so that's just a bummer. Quickly, I just wanted to do a little disclaimer. I wanted to mention that I know that this is a really difficult time and the pandemic is very serious and things are shut down for a reason. It's people's health. So I'm going to be, you know, talking about a few things that have made me happy and have gotten me through this, you know, challenging time. But I do want to say I recognize the severity and the levity of this situation. On a positive note, things that are keeping me happy and entertained in all of this are a few TV shows that I definitely wanted to mention. And if you haven't watched, you really should. Mrs. America on Hulu. It's about Phyllis Schlafly, a woman who was resisting the ERA and the women's movement in the 70s. And like Cate Blanchett is truly transformative and wonderful and fierce. Her character's awful, but she does an amazing job. And Rose Byrne plays Gloria Steinem. And it's just really interesting. Like not only was it entertaining and dramatic, but I also learned a lot about our history, and like especially as women and the women's movement, I was like, this is gold. So definitely recommend that. I also watched Normal People on Hulu. I guess this is an ad plug for Hulu, but Normal People is spicy. I recommend it. I know it's a book. I haven't read the book. People love this show. Like love this show. And it's so quick. Like you fly through the series. There's lots of ups and downs. It's dramatic. It's a romance. It's a will they, won't they. It's really great. You should check it out. And then finally, my favorite TV show that I just binged was Insecure on HBO. And my roommates and I, we started it when I came back to Ohio, and we finished it by the time we got back to the city. Like it was crazy. It was 4 seasons. All we did was watch Insecure because we loved it. It's hilarious, but it's also like so well written and well thought out and well produced. So Issa Rae, anytime you want to collab, let me know, girl. Like anything you want my firstborn, sure, you can have it because you're a legend and a queen. And another thing that another way I've been staying entertained is by reading. Haven't done it as much as I did at the beginning of the pandemic. I really like hit the books hard. I read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's dramatic, it's wonderful. It's in the queer canon, so love that. It's a really, really great read. I flew through the book. I'll link it below. And then I also read Little Fires Everywhere, which is up on my shelf up there, actually. And that's also a Hulu series. Really great read, dramatic. And in terms of performances, Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon act their faces off on the Hulu series, so be sure to check that out. My roommates and I, obviously, as you've gathered, are theater buffs. So we've been watching Broadway HD. We try to watch as many musicals as we can because we're nerds. We've watched Memphis, we've watched Newsies, we've watched truly any musical probably that's on Broadway HD we've watched. So we've been keeping busy by doing that, reminiscing on the good old days when we could go and see live theater. Oh, music. This one has been a big one for me personally. One of my favorite bands of all time, Mr. Wives, dropped this like epic album, Super Bloom. I don't know if any of you guys are Mr. Wives fans, but I've been following them for years now. And love them. And this was different than any other sound they've really had before. And I am just obsessed. It tells a story. Like, I really recommend you listen to the album from song 1 to the end because it really tells an important story, and that's how the musicians want you to listen to the album. So please do. And also, freaking Folklore. Like, I know I've never been a huge Swiftie, like not like die hard, but I've always been a Taylor Swift fan. But like, I'm literally eating snacks, watching Insecure, and Taylor Swift is producing an incredible album. Some say like her best yet. And so I've been obsessed with it, listening to Betty, listening to Cardigan, listening to August on repeat. So those are the 2 albums that, I kid you not, between my roommate and I, one of them is on at all time in the house. And you know me, I love to play around with makeup. I've been keeping busy by literally giving myself a full beat, and I'll go out, my roommates are like, where are you going? I'm like, okay, so I'm getting the mail, leave me alone. But that's what I've been doing. It grounds me. It's my time. I'm either listening to Super Bloom or Folklore while doing my makeup. But that's really how I've been staying sane, is watching TV, doing makeup, reading, watching musicals, and trying to connect with my friends too. You know, I've been able to FaceTime my friends at all hours of the day because I know they're all available. We're all at home. So that's been really great. From a connection standpoint, I feel like I've really gotten to connect with my family and my friends throughout this time. So as much as it sucks and like it's, you know, and when I call it fun employment, it's like not fun, but it has been a really great time to just kind of ground myself and realize what it is that I want and what I want to do and how I want to keep busy and all those fun things. So I hope that this was, you know, just fun for you guys to watch, and maybe some of you have watched similar TV shows as me and can relate, and or have listened to the albums I've talked about or read the books. But I so want to know what you guys have been doing and how you've been staying busy during this pandemic, because, you know, I'm so open to any suggestions that you may have or something that I just absolutely need to check out. I will, because I have the time. So I just want to thank you for tuning into this video, and be sure to like and subscribe, turn on your bell notifications. Thank you for tuning in. Bye guys.